Hello, this is Dr. Ali El-Bahrawy. Again, this is my third submodule, and it will take you in a tour to know about the history of spreadsheets, which are being used heavily to produce graphics of different shapes. But this particular presentation has to do with how the spreadsheets or electronic spreadsheets specifically have been developed. The spreadsheets in general are used by accountants for hundreds of years. They are computerized, or electronic spreadsheets are much more recent origin. In 1978, the Harvard Business School student Daniel Bricklin came up with the idea for an interactive visible calculator. He was a graduate student with his friend Bob Frankston. They both co-invented and co-created a software program called VisiCalc. We can look back and recognize that VisiCalc was the first killer application of personal computers. It was very famous. And these are the two graduate students, Dan Bricklin and Bob Frankston. But if we ask ourselves what is a spreadsheet? Spreadsheet, in two words or one word, was and is a large sheet of paper with columns and rows that organizes data about transactions for a business person to examine. An electronic spreadsheet organizes information into software-defined columns and rows. Calculations is done differently here than high-level programming languages like Fortran, like Pascal, because we use certain ways by using cell references instead of variables. The spreadsheet program summarizes information from many paper sources into one place and presents the information in a format to help decision makers see the financial big picture for the company in case of accounting. The story of VisiCalc is that Dan Bricklin was preparing a spreadsheet analysis for case study report and had two alternatives: either to do it by hand, like I used to do myself long time ago, or use a clumsy time-sharing mainframe program, which I also used long time ago in early 80s. But Bricklin thought there must be a better way. His main metaphor was an electronic blackboard and electronic chalk in a classroom. But by 1978, Bricklin has programmed the first working prototype of his concept in integer basic, which is a programming language at that time. The first version was not very powerful. This is why Bricklin recruited an MIT acquaintance called Bob Frankston to improve and expand the program. Both of them, Bricklin and Frankston, co-created the electronic spreadsheet. Frankston created the production code with faster speed, better arithmetic, and scrolling. They call it VisiCalc, which is a compressed form of the phrase visible calculator. About 1 million copies of the spreadsheet program were sold during VisiCalc's product lifetime. This is how it looked like. Computers a long time ago looked like this for Apple II and Apple II Plus and Apple IIe. And this is how it looks like. Very primitive screen with limited capabilities. But what happens after VisiCalc? Beginning in 1983, there was some legal conflicts between VisiCorp and Software Arts that distracted the VisiCalc developer, who are Bricklin and Frankston. And during this period, there is a guy called Mitch Kapor developed Lotus, and his spreadsheet program quickly became the new industry spreadsheet standard after VisiCalc. But what's Lotus 123? It's an established spreadsheet software as a major data presentation package as well as a complex calculation tool. And Lotus was also the first spreadsheet vendor to introduce naming cells used for programming, cell ranges, which facilitates a lot of things, and spreadsheet macros, which can be very convenient if you use them like myself. In 1982, Kapoor founded Lotus Development Corporation with a friend of his called Jonathan Sachs. This is how it looked like long time ago, and this is how the calculations were improved. It looked a bit sophisticated than the screen that we saw before for VisiCalc. After Lotus came Multiplan and Quattro Pro. Multiplan was an early spreadsheet program developed by Microsoft and initially by the code name EP or electronic paper. It was introduced in 1982 as a competitor for VisiCalc. Quattro Pro is another spreadsheet program, but this time developed by Boland as part of the WordPerfect Office suite. Its original name was Quattro. This is very exciting. In Italian, the quattro means four, and they call it Quattro because it's a play on being a step ahead of 1, 2, 3. I mean 1, 2, 3, 4 or Quattro. And this is how it looked like. Then came Excel. Excel was originally written for an Apple Macintosh 512K in 1984-1985. Excel was one of the first spreadsheets to use a graphical interface. Look at the development of the spreadsheets with pull-down menus and a point-and-click capability using a mouse pointing device. In the late spring of 1995, IBM acquired Lotus Development, and Microsoft Excel is the spreadsheet market leader. This is Excel, and this is how it looks like. This is Multiplan, and this is also how it looked like. Yeah. In addition to Excel, there has been some modification, very important, by Frontline Systems. They developed solver add-ins for Excel. There are many add-ins, but for me and for engineers, solver are very important. It's a Lotus 123 and other spreadsheet programs. A solver add-in can be used for both equation solving with a function called goal seeking and for constrained optimization using linear programming, nonlinear programming, and integer programming methods. I use them a lot. In my specialty in water resources, we do a lot of resources allocation and water management, and we use a lot of these tools all the time. They are great tools and very easy to use. And this is why I have a screen here showing how to add the solver, the add-in, and how it looked like. The solver window for people who know something about operations research or optimization. They include the objective function, the variables, and the list of constraints, and then you decide the solution method. In this particular example, we use the simplex linear programming tool. There are in the market other spreadsheet programs like OpenOffice Calc, Lotus Symphony, PlanMaker, Numbers, Go Be Productive, Ability Spreadsheet. I'm not going to show all of this. I'm going to just show you two examples. One of them is this, the OpenOffice. It's an open source. It looks like Excel in a sense. And another product called Ability Spreadsheet. Also, it looks friendly, as you can see. I hope you enjoyed this little introduction. Before going into the details of how to use spreadsheets in our next module, and again, I am providing you with another musical break, but this time we are going to listen to Handel. Handel is a German, then British Baroque composer, I will let you now have to enjoy the information and the music, where we are going to listen to a piece called Water Music Suite number 2 for about 2 minutes.